So, willkommen beim LP von Constructor HD. Es ist eine Neuauflage von, ich glaube, so gegen 1997, 1999, irgend sowas in die Gegend vom alten Constructor. Und es ist richtig geil. Es ist nur nicht ganz fertig, kommt mal vor. Denn, wenn wir auf Aufträge gehen, die Version ist, dann tut sich da irgendwie nichts, steht nur in Kürze. Das heißt, es wird wohl nachgereicht werden. Der Release wurde auch um ein Jahr verschoben. Jetzt ist der Release. Und ja, mal schauen, was das kann. Ich würde sagen, wir fangen nochmal chillig an mit den Trailer und ein paar Erklärungen hier zu den Figuren. Muss dazu sagen, es ist mit Sicherheit noch nicht ganz fertig, weil das Spiel ist komplett in Deutsch, aber die Erklärungen doch noch in Englisch. Also da müssen wir nur ein bisschen nachhaken. So, dann hauen wir uns mal rein. Da sieht man übrigens auch, wie geil das Game ist. Schwarzer Humor ist hier definitiv an erster Stelle.
Build high and use your nous. Only sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. That's why natural-born builders play Constructor, the unique strategy game by System 3. I want to build a better world, one where tenants and workers can live together in perfect harmony. And if that means ruffling a few feathers, eliminating a few rivals, becoming a millionaire and winning the game, then so be it. Natural-born builders don't win any popularity contests. See, Constructor is a virtual town simulator. You play on your own against the computer, or with up to 3 mates. It's all about land coverage. You're a property tycoon, and you want to control the city. Phase 1. Attract the plebs into the neighbourhood. Trade up from a lumber mill to a cement plant so you can build housing. Then fill the town with workers and tenants who can breed kids who can afford posher houses. Blah, 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 blah. But if you want to succeed in the building game, here's the first rule. Keep the tenant happy. My business is beginning to suffer, and that cannot be allowed to happen. Here's the second rule. Make your opponents as stressed and as unhappy as possible. Okay, I'll come clean. In Constructor, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Take this likeable bunch. Psycho. Attacks building sites, saws up fences, and a true artist with a chainsaw. Or Hippie. He's an expert in the art of sidetracking. A one-man demo, and an instant street party animal. Even harmless-looking characters spell danger for your opponents. Use Mr. Fix-It to nobble their gas, bodge their electrics, and plumb new depths of incompetence. Remember, natural-born builders play dirty. I find my tenants can't abide poltergeists, so when they're getting spooked by a phantom, I turn to my cinematic interface and call for reinforcements. Send in the clown. Well, if you're a constructor, you can't please all the people all the time. Of course, I've known law-abiding rivals who play strictly kosher. They suck up to the bank manager for loans and overdrafts, and if things get too heavy, they create their own old bill. But in this richly detailed high-resolution world, it's more fulfilling to borrow money from the mob, run protection rackets, and eliminate anyone who stands in your way. Another tactical tip from yours truly. Breed to succeed. Keep the hometown spawning and you'll have your own ready-made population of tenants and law enforcers. See, you want to build properties at every level, from the riffraff to the toffs. But along the way, you also want to enjoy the infinite variety of gameplay. Build your own maps in the new Town Designer. Share your missions, maps and challenges with your mates online. Learn the ropes with a fully interactive tutorial voiced by yours truly. Well, that one's squeezed in nicely. And expand your world with regular downloadable content and game updates. Natural-born builders love it. They love building a better world. They love building a fortune. They love building stress in their rivals. And if you get out-trumped by Trump, well, There's always the consolation of the most enjoyable strategy game ever devised, thanks to the 3D isometric engine, whatever that is. So go on, have a dig, my son, if you think your hard hat's hard enough. Constructor by System 3.
Geilster Spruch ever. Have a dick, my son. Das läuft. So, das war der Trailer zu Constructor HD. Dann schauen wir mal die ganzen speziellen Dinge an. Ich habe nur mal kurz reingeschaut, es ist irrsinnig geil und irrsinnig lustig. Da soll wohl noch mehr Content nachkommen, so wie das ausschaut. Aber schauen wir mal, was wir bisher haben. Den Hippie Guide. Hippie, hippie, you wanna be a hippie?
Game, you'll need to be streetwise. It's not all above board in the world of Constructor. Luckily, our series of undesirable guides will add a few more tools to your belt. Introducing the hippie. You'll need to build a commune to gain control of this halfwit. The hippie has 4 actions at his disposal. Picketing an enemy site. Either target an enemy resource, halting their production, or stress out an enemy tenant by picketing their house. This will pressure the tenant inside, leading them to complain and potentially damage the property. You can lay down some beats by sending him to start a street party. This will distract your opponents whilst you get up to no good. This layabout will happily squat in any unattended property. He'll be reckless in taking care of the place too, leading that fresh-looking interior to soon be infested with his stench. And if your opponent somehow manages to squat in one of your vacant properties, you'll be able to send your own hippie to distract him into the garden whilst you kick his head in. Be aware, hippies are as skinny and as brittle as they look. They will not be surviving many fights, so keep them out of trouble and use them when the streets are safe.
So, dann schauen wir uns den Gangster an.
Introducing the Gangster.
You talking to me?
Of course, the Gangster works for the mob and is a decisive member of our undesirable family. Here's what you'll need to do to get him involved in your criminal underworld. We're going to need to build up to the brickyard. This involves us building each of the Tier 1 and Tier 2 properties. Remember, the personal computer from the gadget factory will allow us to produce smarter tenants. Install it and you'll be able to sprout out those higher level tenants in no time. Each tier of tenant offers a specialist child that they can produce. Tier 1 will produce you workers, Tier 2 police cadets, and Tier 3, well, they'll begin bribing the mob for you. Just what we all need. With each bribe, you give a gangster an allowance of 1 hit. Once you've built the brickyard, the mob HQ will now be available to you. Build it to unlock gangsters. Each gangster starts off with just a knife in their hand. With each kill, you'll gain the appropriate upgrade for that gangster. You can use the undesirable thief to steal from your opponent's mob HQ and gangsters to speed up this process even further. Successfully doing so will upgrade your lowest ranking gangster. Think wisely on who to take out. Attacking your opposition's foreman will stop them from building. Taking out a repairman will leave their buildings in disrepair. Removing their tenants will leave them with a population headache. Or use them to guard your important structures and take out unwilling rivals undesirables who are nearby. Each will add up, making your gangsters ever stronger. Get the appropriate amount of kills with your gangster and you'll have an inventory to boot, from SMGs, shotguns, miniguns, and even the ultimate laser gun. Before you know it, you have a team of highly trained gangsters who can truly eradicate your opponents. Just watch out for the police in the process. These gangsters don't fare well in the nick.
Also der Gangster ist mehr oder weniger für einen Angriff zuständig, so wie ich das sehe, oder Häuser zerstören oder sowas, oder einfach ein paar aufs Maul hauen. Was haben wir noch? Mr. Fix-It Guide. Das wird ein Haus.
Introducing Mr.
Handwerker oder
Fix-It.
sowas.
To
Auswahl.
gain control of Mr. Fix-It, you'll need to build his looking builder's warehouse. Mr. Fix-It offers you 3 unhelpful actions. He's quite the cowboy builder. Rewiring an enemy property. Mr. Fix-It can rewire a house for the bonus effect of utter electrical chaos. Sparks fly, and the house will be plunged into darkness, disabling any useful gadgets inside. How about a more explosive action? Rip out the gas boiler and create a serious hazardous leak. It's only inevitable that this doesn't end well. Or cause a serious flood that could knock out an entire estate.
There appears to be an artificial lake appearing on your estate. Try not leaving your bath running so long next time.
He's not the quickest of our undesirable bunch, so the police will be hot on his tail if you're not careful.
Also doch so eine Art Hauswart, wie ich es mal dachte. So, was haben wir denn? Deep Guide. Das hat was. Wette, da können wir einen Gegner was abstauben.
The pesky thief lives his scrawny life in his pawn shop. Build this and you'll have access to it. He steals for a living. Need more resources and want to slow your opponent down in the process? Target an enemy resource and leave that place empty. How about stealing from your opponent's houses in order to improve stock of gadgets in your own inventory? It'll also stress out the tenant, as they've just been burgled.
Someone has been stealing items from properties on the estate.
Need money fast and don't want to go to the bank for a loan? Well, just rock up and take it straight from an enemy HQ. This will take months of hard-earned rent straight from their pocket. If you're in the market for some better weaponry, why not silence an enemy gangster, pinching his weapon from right under his nose? Alternatively, head straight for the enemy mob HQ and improve one of your own gangsters' provisions.
A sneaky thief has been operating in the area and has stolen one of your gangsters' weapons.
One warning, this thief isn't a fan of a snarling dog, so you won't be stealing much if he's going to get bitten.
So, was haben wir da? Schlägerguide. Langsam wird's interessant.
Introducing the thugs. The bruising thugs live out of their concrete tenant block. They'll create some serious noise.
Bier, Pizza.
The thugs' #1 goal is to terrorize. You can have them terrorize a tenant, stressing them out so much that they'll pack their bags and leave. This allows you to potentially replace those living inside. Start an unwanted house party, trashing and stressing out the household. Patrol the streets of an estate and get everyone stressed out. Just watch out for the cops. And then if a rival gang rear their head in town, organise a punch-up. Just hope you come out the winner. Loud and unruly are the thugs, but liable to police brutality.
So, Geisterguide, okay. 3 haben wir noch.
Introducing the Poltergeist. This haunted old mansion plays host to a spooky guest. He's downright terrifying too. Use him to possess a character, effectively taking them out of the game. This could stop your opponent from being able to do vital actions. However, whilst you've done this, the haunted house will remain vacant, and you won't be able to use any other actions. Or choose to haunt a house and scare off the tenants. Doing so will have them instantly flee. Might even force their owners to sell the house too. Endowing a character under the cloak of darkness effectively turns them invisible. Think of what you could get up to with an undercover gangster.
Let's go. Talking to me? It's done.
Or you could choose to terrify an entire neighborhood by raising the dead. Zombies will parade the streets, leaving the police and neighbors with something to worry about. You best be afraid of this ghost, as it's practically impossible to catch him. You'd best burn down his house.
So, was haben wir denn? Killer Clown. Das ist sicher geil. Mal schauen, was der ab kann.
Introducing the Killer Clown. The clown welcomes you to his house of fun, although it's no holiday. He's less child-friendly and more arsonist. Have you had a ghost visit? Send him to a house that a poltergeist is terrorizing, and he'll deal with the problem. Where the ghost goes, nobody knows. Fed up of getting bitten in the bottom by an enemy mutt? Your clown will give a dog a bone, as they say, whilst you get up to no good.
Weg ist der Joker.
Need a target removed from the game permanently? Welcome them as a guest to the House of Fun. In his spare time, the killer clown brews his own Molotov cocktails. Useful when you need a place torched. He's an elusive character and he'll be hard to stop. Your best luck is to just send the heavies round and get rid of the place.
Controlled demolition. Your first industrial accident.
Also ich glaube, der Molotov ist das Gescheiteste von dem. Sehr vielseitig einsetzbar, das Ganze. So, was haben wir noch? Ein Psycho-Guide. Oh Gott, der wird sicher geil.
Introducing the Psycho. This chainsaw-wielding psycho hangs out at the biker bar. He's a sandwich short of a picnic. The character is the psycho, not a welcoming one either. Target a work site and you'll put a stop to any sort of construction until he's dealt with. Taking out an enemy fence will speed up your takeovers tenfold. Just make sure to have a foreman nearby to capture the property afterwards, then sell for a good profit. Fed up of your opposition having so many buildings? Well, simply eradicate one of them entirely, putting that chainsaw to good use. The psycho is a slow, lumbering oaf, so if you gang up on him, he won't survive a fight.
Wir machen wieder mal einen Cut. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, abonniert mich, liked mich, schreibt einen Kommentar. Ich würde mich wirklich drüber freuen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Euer ZockerAndiLP von Gameplay Deluxe. Tschüss.